princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Skinfood Forest Dining Bare Water Tints. I picked these up because I haven't tried anything from Skinfood in such a long time, and I used to really like the brand, apart from their peach, what is this called now? Apart from their peach cotton multi-finish powder, which was in my Yes Style advent calendar last year and I'm still absolutely loving. So when I saw this little collection of tints come out, I was like, that's cute, I should try them, and the colours look quite nice as well. They weren't your usual like super orange, super red, super pink. They were kind of like muted kind of colours, which is really cool. So for this review, we're going to have a product description, packaging, swatches, and final thoughts. So if you'd like to skip to any of those points, please do so now. So the product description says, create juicy and plump lips with this moisturizing lip tint that contains 44% cactus pear extract and panthenol to form a moisture layer over the lips. Vegan formula is made free of PEG, synthetic fragrances, and talc. Comes in beige breeze, sandy coral, and rosewood. The packaging of these tints is pretty standard. It comes in a little beige tube and it has the colour down the bottom, which I really enjoy. The branding is the same Skinfood branding that you usually see, which is really nice. One of the things that I don't like about the packaging is, you can probably see it on this one here, that the tint gets caught up in, the lid is clear, so when the tint actually gets caught around the rim, it catches around here and you can see it, which is a bit ugly. So like in comparison to this one, which hasn't got any tint caught around the top, that's nice and clear. So I think that that's kind of like a little downside of the packaging, purely from an aesthetic purpose, that I don't think it was maybe the best choice, but it is otherwise fine. They have a doe foot applicator which applies the tint really easily. There are 3 colours in the collection, an orangish, a reddish, and a pinkish, but they're not your usual typical Kbeauty colours. Shade number 1 is called Beige Breeze, and this is how it would look as a gradient. It's probably not one of my favourite ones to gradient because it is quite light, and it doesn't really, I don't think it looks that great because it's a very different colour from my own natural lips, so unless I include it with another colour, it doesn't really gradient that well. And then I'll do a full lip colour. And this is how it looks as a full lip cover. This one is quite sheer, and so I do find it a little bit difficult to actually apply. It's almost like it looks very pigmented when I actually put the first layer on, and then when you kind of blend it out, it just looks like not much. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because I think it still does look really nice, but it's definitely very, very like sheer. But it is a really lovely color. It's like a really nice sort of brownish orange, and I think that it looks really cute. So this is shade number 1, Beige Breeze. Shade number 2 is called Sandy Coral, and this is how it looks as a gradient. This one definitely gradients better than the first one because it is a deeper colour, and it works really well because they do sheer out really easily, but I feel like I can't build up the inner colour quite as much as I would like to. So it's probably not one of my favourite formulas to gradient. Maybe if I had like a different formula on the inside to build up a bit more pigment, it'd be quite nice though. And here it is as a full lip cover. Again, it's a very sheer application, even though I feel like I've got a lot of product on my lips. It's very like see-through, a little bit like glossy, but just a little bit. I don't think that it makes my lips look any more wrinkly than they were before because my lips are a little bit on the wrinkly side, but it definitely doesn't make them look any more like plump and pretty, but I still think that it looks fairly nice. So this is number 2, Sandy Coral. The third shade is called Rosewood, and this is how this one looks as a gradient. And I quite like this one as a gradient actually because I feel like it suits my lip tone really well, and it's a little bit deeper, so when I'm putting it on the inside, I feel like it gradients to an outside that is like a bit lighter, so I think that this one works pretty successfully. And this is how we look as a full lip cover. This is not my favorite as a full lip cover because it is very patchy. In terms of the formula, the formula initially looks like it's going to be like matte, like it's quite solid, it's not watery whatsoever, and so when it goes on the lips it does feel a little bit more sheer and watery, which is very odd, but especially in the deeper colours I find that they have like little flakes of product that you can definitely rub in, but the flakes of product look totally different, so they look solid and like moussey almost. And then the rest of the lip doesn't look like that, and so it can create like a really weird patchy effect. So this is not my favourite formula for this kind of colour. I definitely noticed it less on the lighter colours, but the colour itself is really nice. It's like a really sweet berry tone. So this is number 3, Rosewood. So for these tints I really wanted to like them, but I actually don't like them very much, and I think it's because of that weird like lumpy formula that they have. I have no idea what's going on with that formula, but it's like, it just has these like little balls, like little pills, lipstick sections, and you can definitely blend them in, but you really need to use a finger to blend them in, and I don't particularly love doing that. Like, I prefer to keep my fingers clean so that I don't have to, especially if it has a tint applicator that is supposed to do that job for you. And with the pigmentation levels of them as well, like, they look like they should be super pigmented, and you put them on the lips and they're like not, and it's just, yeah, it's a little bit confusing, I think. They do have 3 really nice colors though, so that is great, and they are fairly inexpensive too. So if you are looking for something that is like a more cheap tint in some nice colors, it's one that I'd recommend, but it's probably not one that I recommend to most people, and that's just because of the formula. I feel like that little matte rolled up lipstick, it just looks really bad. Like, it looks like my lips are flaking, and it's not even my lips that time. It was definitely the tint. So, not a huge fan, unfortunately. Sorry, Skinfood. But thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!